Hey guys, it's Adam with another battle report. This is my High Elves, first time I've used them. First time I've used them in about 10 or 11 years probably. Bringing them against an Orcs and Goblins player, and he's not super familiar with Orcs and Goblins. He's played a few games with them, but so we're just trying something out. My army is not painted much at all. I wanted to try it out. I've got a build that I think is pretty competitive, and I wanted to try it out. And so I went ahead and brought it before I start painting, trying to get it completely ready. Because if it doesn't work, I'm not going to continue to build that way. So there's a look at our generals. He's still working on his Grimoire model. And that's my High Elf Lord there. We're doing a regular, this is a look at the board and the terrain. We're doing a regular, battle line. I'll go over the terrain real quick. That's in the top left corner, that's a ghost fence, causes fear if you're defending it. Bottom left corner of the hill there is actually, we rolled up the Temple of Skulls. It's under the hill section, I don't know why, but Temple of Skulls. Any character or champion that is on it can try and get the attention of the Chaos Gods. And if you roll a 1, you die. A 2 through 6, a random stat gets improved by D3. So that's interesting. The hill in the middle is a normal hill. The tan stone with a little pathway there, that is a sorcerer's portal, which is always fun. That is a mysterious forest. And if I forget to mention later on, when we move into it, we find out that is just a normal forest. So nothing special there. And then that is a normal building there, the tower there, the skull mansion or whatever it is. Here's a look at his deployment, starting at my right-hand side. He's got, I think, 38 goblins. He's got 2 level 2 casters in there. One has a dispel scroll. I'm not sure what the other has. I failed to get his list, but yeah, 2 level 2s. Then the Arachnarok spider, a boar chariot. Then he only has them 8 wide. So I think it was something like 34, 36 boys with extra hand weapons. The red banner there is his BSB. Again, I'm not sure exactly what he's carrying. I think he's got something defensive though. And then on the opposite corner is his Grimoire model. That's his general. And other than a 4-up ward, I'm not sure what he has. So he's probably got the talisman of protection or endurance, whatever it is, the 4-up. Beside that, he's got 5 wolf riders with bows and spears, and then 6 river trolls. Actually, I think he said they were just trolls with the river troll models because they're so cool looking. In the back there is a rock lobber. Then on the other side of the portal, he's got 30, I think it was just 30, Savage Orc big boys, biggins, with extra hand weapons. It's a nasty unit. Seen it do some good. I've seen it also lose pretty bad, but I mean it can be devastating. I charged it once with a unit of flagellants, whatever they're, the Empire crazy guys, and I thought they were all bad and all, and they just got butchered. I mean, there was a fine red mist when that battle was over. We got another boar chariot, 5 more wolf riders, and over on the far left is his bolt thrower. I look at my deployment starting on my left. I've got 5 Illyrian Reavers with just a champion. That is 13 Dragon Princes. I'm going for a very hard punch. My general is in there, and my general has the Giant Blade, which gives him +3 strength. That's there's the Ogre Blade +2, and that's what I think most people take. I went for the Giant Blade just for the extra point. He's also got the Armor of Fortune, which gives him a 5-up ward save. And then, of course, he's mounted and has barding. My BSB is in that unit, and he is carrying the Charm Shield and the Talisman of Endurance, which gives him, he can discount the first hit on a 2-up, and then he can get a 5-up ward save. That's it. I got a full command in that unit also. That's a lion chariot next to them. Sorry, the sun was washing out the picture. Got a bolt thrower on the hill. I forgot and left my crew at home. That unit of knights there are silver helms. Got 9 silver helms and a level 4 death wizard in there. This is my first time using death. I'm trying it out, just part of my theme that I'm doing. A flame phoenix, which my opponent was nice enough to let me use. I only have the frost phoenix. I bought this entire army at one time from somebody. That's why it's all primed. So the only thing that you'll see here painted that I did is the lord that you saw at the beginning. Everything else I've just got primed and trying to get it fixed. So in front of that phoenix is 5 more reavers, and then the next unit over is 10 reavers and a level 2 wizard. Now I'm working on a conversion with that wizard. It looks like she's on foot, but I'm actually going to have her flying as if her magic is carrying her along with the fast calf. But that conversion is not done. She is carrying the high magic. She has 2 spells from the high magic. And then a sky cutter on the far right. This is Vanguards. He vanguarded up with both wolf units moving up like this. And then on this side I vanguarded with my 10 reavers and my 5 reavers. I left my other reavers on the far left on the Temple of Skulls because, you know, I want to do that thing and try and get my champion D3 improvement on a random stat. Because what are the odds of failing that? Here's my spells. I got Apotheosis and Soul Quench on my level 2. And then on my Death, my level 4, I got Soul Blight, which is -1 strength, -1 toughness. Got the Purple Sun, which throws out the template, and anything it crosses over takes an initiative test or dies with no save of any kind. I got the Fate of Juna, which is pretty nasty. 2d6 minus the target's toughness. He takes that many wounds, not hits, wounds, and that's pretty bad. No armor saves, but you do get ward saves though. And then Spirit Leech, which is also pretty good. You roll a d6 and add your leadership, and if your opponent's roll less than you or his total is less than yours, he takes that many wounds. So, and all these things can pick out characters out of units, and so that's really cool. So look at his spells. He has 3 level 2s. Oh yeah, in that unit of Savage Orcs of his, he has a level 2 Savage Orc Shaman with the lucky shrunken head, so the whole unit gets a 5-up ward save instead of a 6. So his spells are Goracle Fix-It, Vindictive Glare, Curse of the Bad Moon, the Gift of the Spider God, Headbutt, and I can't see that other one. But anyway. So the Temple of Skulls sucks the soul out of my champion, so the odds of failing that are apparently pretty good. This is after my movement phase. I got to go first. We moved up like this, being a little bit careful, staying out of his range and stuff. Moved up on this side a little more, a little further, a little more aggressive. Got my reavers up there where I can take a chance on shooting or charging his bolt thrower next turn, and everything else just got up where he can't charge me, but I might be able to charge him. The Sorcerer's Portal through the speed of light on his Wolf Riders, which is kind of funny just to picture in your head. Initiative 10, by the way, that's what it does. They get the initiative 10 rule. My shooting phase, magic phase, he shut down. He dispelled the first one, used a dispel scroll on the Purple Sun, so he was able to shut it down. Shooting phase, these 4 remaining reavers managed to pick off 2 of his Wolf Riders. Passed his panic test. Over here, 5 reavers shooting through the woods managed to kill 1 there, and no panic test there. And that's an overlook of the board after my turn 1. Orcs and Goblins turn 1, he declares a charge against the bolt thrower. It was a long charge. I think he needed a 10, but I mean, why not? What else are they going to do? They're not going to charge the Silver Helm, so he tried for that. And I think that's a look. They failed it. I think they went forward about 5 inches. His Savage Orc moved up. His 3 Wolf Riders moved up like this to redirect. And that's, by the way, I'll go ahead and spoiler alert this. He moved up. This is the same thing I did in my last game with the ogres. If you saw it, the one where I was accused of being cheesy the whole game. He moved up to redirect, just like I did. Put them like this because it's the closest unit and all that good stuff. But he left them a little too far to the side. I can still wheel. I can still get in and hit those orcs. So, you know, whatever. This is a picture I took just because the orc with the yellow club in the front rank, my 5-year-old, she was 5 at the time, painted that for him, and he's using it. So, thought you'd get a kick out of that. This is his movement on this side. He's moved up, got everything getting ready to charge. He's got his trolls right next to his general, which was very smart, so they're passing their stupidity checks. And over here the goblins moved up and released their fanatics at the skycutter. 1 at the phoenix, 2 at the skycutter. Curse's luck is he throws 1 at the skycutter, and I think he rolled a 5. Maybe a 6. Then he says, I'm going to throw 1 at the Phoenix, and he rolls a 10, and it still falls short by that much. And then he says, okay, my next one's going at the Skycutter, and I think it went 5. So the only one he threw at the Phoenix is the only one that would have hit. That's just the luck he had this game. Otherwise, his Ragnarok moved up like this. The Sorcerer's Portal through the speed of light on his Savage Orcs now. And that's ugly, because now I don't get my rerolls. If I charge him, I don't get to reroll because his initiative is higher than mine. So that's no good. Here we got... I'm trying to remember why I took this picture. Oh, Gorkle Fix-It. Yeah, he cast Gorkle Fix-It on my Reavers here. So now I have to reroll ones to, reroll successful hits, successful wounds, and armor saves of a 6. So that's no fun. And here his bolt thrower shot at me. Totally stupid on my part to leave my flank exposed to a bolt thrower. But he fires, he hits, needing a 5. So, you know, I'm in panic mode. Thank goodness Dragon Armor gives you a 6-up ward, and I rolled a 6 on my first wound, so stop the bolt right there. And that's a nice little bit of luck for you right there. His Stone Thrower, he put it dead center in the unit of Dragon Princes. It drifted off and only clipped 1, and I made my armor save. Then the Flinger on the Ragnarok throws his mess and hits the Dragon Princes, and doesn't wound. Actually, it does wound. I made my armor saves, but it does get the always strike last rule on them. And that's an overlook of the board after Orcs and Goblins turn 1. So going into turn 2, I declare a charge against his Bolt Thrower with my Reavers. Here we have where he was a little too far over. I could still wheel, get my free wheel there, and charge into his Savage Orcs. My Chariot was going second, and is going to charge the other side of the Savage Orcs. And that's how it looks after I completed the charges. I made my charge into the Bolt Thrower. And then this is remaining moves. I flew the Flame Phoenix over this unit, and I think I killed 16 with a Flame Wake. It was really bad. And then he fled. He failed his panic test, fled away from the Phoenix, which was behind him now, and it made him run through his own Fanatic. And I think he took another 5 wounds from that, maybe 6, I don't remember. But killed another little chunk of them, so that's not going too good for him. This over here is Soul Blight. The Sorcerer's Portal, after giving Speed of Light on 2 different things, it throws Soul Blight onto his Savage Orc. So now he's -1 toughness and -1 strength. So that's not looking good, especially when you have 13 Dragon Princes and a White Lion Chariot, a Lion Chariot coming into you. That's not good. So my bolt thrower shoots at his trolls and puts 1 wound on 1. I just didn't have any other good targets really. My Reaver, this is hand to hand. My Reavers kill the bolt thrower crew and turn to face the battle. And that's just a picture. He issued a challenge with his champion trying to get my Lord out of there so I couldn't attack his wizard with the shrunken head, and I accepted with my champion. And believe it or not, the champion has 3 attacks, and I've given him a ward save because the champion upgrade can carry 50 points of magic items and dragon princes. So I've got a pretty stout champion there. But when the combat phase begins, my Lord kills his wizard, so that gets rid of the shrunken head. So the rest of the unit drops to a 6 upward save. And then my champion kills his champion, does 3 wounds to him. And that's after combat. He did 2 wounds to my chariot. He killed 2 dragon princes. And I killed, it looks like, about 20 of the savage orcs. It was bad. And in his defense, we forgot about the flinger making me always strike last because I wouldn't have gotten my rerolls. But we got to thinking about it. We were talking about what we should do about it. But it was only, I think, like 4 that I wouldn't have gotten to reroll. And so I think he still would have been on insane courage to stay. Because he's not steadfast because I've got 2 ranks with my dragon princes and 2 banners and all that good stuff. So that's how it looks afterwards. He failed it, and I ran him down, and also got out of the charge arc of the chariot there. So that's good. This is just a look at the board after my turn 2. So now we're going into Orcs and Goblins turn 2. He declares a charge with his Wolf Riders and on my bolt thrower, and he failed it. I think he went forward 5 or 6 inches again. His goblins failed to rally, and the only bad thing about that is both of his 2 remaining level 2s are in that unit. So now they're fleeing. They can't, generate the dice, and they can't cast spells or anything. And by the way, they went through their second fanatic now, and it killed 5 more of them. So they're real close to needing insane courage to rally. That's him moving his other fanatic. It only went 3 inches. He rolled a hit, so he got to choose, but it only went 3 inches. Over here, let's see. This is after his movement. He moved right up in the face. He couldn't charge with the trolls because his Wolf Riders were in the way at the time. So he moved his Wolf Riders up, and this time he made sure they were close enough in that I couldn't wheel past him and charge his orcs. So he's got me redirected there. He moved his trolls right up in the face of my Illyrian Reavers, so there's not a whole lot they can do other than run away. And then he's moved his orcs up into the woods, and now those knights down there that can still charge, those are just Reavers, and so I'm going to be hitting him on 3s, sure, but then I'm needing 4s to wound with my spears, and that's not looking good. Not with his 3 ranks to my 1 and his 2 banners to my 1. So that's not a good matchup for me. Not alone, anyway. My Silverham's taken out. There's no way I'm going to commit him to that. On his other flank, he moves up he turns his chariot like this, trying just to get it back into the combat. He he failed his charge with the Wolf Riders. Oh yeah, the Sorcerer's Portal in his magic phase throws Soul Blight on my Dragon Princes, so now they're -1 strength, -1 toughness. But that happens the first thing in the magic phase, so I was able to dispel it with my dice, because he can't cast any, so I was able to use my dice to dispel Soul Blight. In his shooting phase, the Rock Lobber targeted the Sky Cutter and drifted 10 inches off the table. His Wolf Riders were able to shoot and kill one of my Reavers there. And then, believe it or not, the other 4 Wolf Riders turned around and shot and killed another one. I failed my panic test. I didn't get a picture of it. I failed my panic test from these Reavers. and they ran up towards his chariot, and my dragon princes, they fled away. So they're no longer blocking the bolt thrower. This is a shot of my. I pulled my level 2 out and put her up there just as a redirect, so that he can't charge anywhere else. He can only charge pretty much straight forward. And you know, I hate doing that. I'm not one of the players that sacrifices characters. I love my characters, and I'd never throw them out there. But I couldn't have him charge up there and kill the Reavers, and it would have killed her too. So just moved her up there to give them a break. And then I moved my Reavers way over here like this in front of the fleeing goblins, and out of the charges anyway. This is a charge with my Sky Cutter into the Rock Lobber, and I forgot to move the Phoenix. Stupid me. My Reavers move up like this. The one unit rallied right in front of the chariot, and I was able to move them out of the way. Thank goodness for fast cav. I made a semi-dumb mistake and moved my dragon princes up like this. I was making sure they stayed behind the portal enough so that his Ragnarok couldn't see them. I know he can go over terrain and stuff, but he has to be able to draw a line of sight. So I kept them back, and I inched them forward just enough so I could see without getting spotted myself. And I wasn't paying attention to that chariot at all and moved just into his charge arc. So that was dumb. I was able to cast the... first I tried Purple Sun, and I was aiming it right over his trolls. And since they have initiative 1, they would have been killed on a 2-up with no saves allowed of any kind. So he had to stop that. And then the Fate of Juna I was able to cast on his general. And I rolled an 11. Yeah, there it is. I rolled an 11, which means he's toughness 5, so the guy takes 6 wounds. And I think he warded 3 of them. Yeah, there's his ward saves. He failed 3 and got 3 of them. And there it is, killed his general. So I was desperate to do that. I'd actually tried it the past 2 turns as well, and he had stopped it. But that puts the trolls on their own leadership. So now their stupidity checks will actually mean something and maybe keep them from charging me. On this side, my Reavers were able to kill 1 Wolf Rider. He passed his panic check. The goblins here failed to rally and continued going, and went right on off the board. So he just lost. Oh, I'm sorry. This is my turn. This is my shooting. Yeah, those 10 Reavers shot and killed 5 more goblins, and that made him where he needed insane courage to rally. So now his 2 goblin wizards are, better chance of running on off the board, which I just told you they do. So that unit is as good as gone. These 2 Wolf Riders declare a charge on the bolt thrower again. Look at me, I'm doing it again. Scratch that. The bolt thrower took a shot at the chariot over there, hit it, and did 2 wounds to it. So that's what that picture is, not Wolf Riders charging it. There's a look at the 2 wounds on the chariot. The Sky Cutter killed the Stone Thrower and turned to face the rear of the Ragnarok. Not like that's a good charge for me, but at least he's facing the combat. The plan worked. His trolls failed their stupidity check and moved forward 6 inches. Well, I'm grateful for that. I did not want them charging in there and helping against my Silver Helms, because I didn't get a picture of it, it looks like, but his 4 Wolf Riders charged in there just to get out of the way, and he had room to get those trolls in there on the corner, and that would have given him 2 vomits in there as well, and I didn't want that. So that worked out well for me. There's the Wolf Riders going into the Silver Helms. He charged my wizard, the sacrificial wizard. I issued a challenge, and his BSB took it. So, it helped me not get all those attacks on me. He also declared a charge with his chariot, but failed the charge. This is the charge with his Wolf Riders into the bolt thrower that I thought I saw earlier. And he made that one, so he's got 2 Wolf Riders in on my crew, my invisible crew. He declared the charge with the chariot and slammed into the side of my dragon princes. And and then he brought his Ragnarok around. Now that my dragon princes were tied up, he ran his Ragnarok around so that if they stuck, he could charge me in the front in his turn. His next turn, by the way. But with my character there with 4 attacks, re-rolling misses, strength 7 with a giant blade, he chopped the chariot down. Though he did hit the impact hits, but I passed all my armor saves, and then my general hacked it apart. So that frees me up for my turn. Believe it or not, my bolt thrower crew gets a strike first, and I kill one of his wolf riders. He does 1 wound to me. It's he charged, so he was up by 1, but I'm defending a hill, so it turned into a draw. The Silver Helms killed 3 of his 4 wolf riders, which was perfect. If I had killed 1 more, he would have, been killed to a man, and there would have been nothing to overrun or chase. But since 1 of them lived, he apparently I didn't get a picture of that. But yeah, this is where the goblins failed to rally and ran on off the board. There's a look at the challenge. My level 2 taking on his BSB. He did 1 wound. He had 3 attacks. He hit with 3, wounded with 2, and I had the opal amulet, warded 1 of them, and took 1 wound. So still, I'm down by 1 wound, 3 ranks, 2 banners, and a charge. So needed snake eyes. Fled. He elected before I rolled. He said, "I'm not going to pursue." He wants to turn. And by the way, there's my Silver Helms, and they chased down that Wolf Rider. They clipped the Ragnarok and hit him in the rear. But it's not a cascading combat, so it won't go on until my turn. He turned with his boys like this to get a rear charge on me. And so, yeah, it was pretty good. And then I rolled boxcars with my level 2 to run. So if he had pursued me, he probably wouldn't have caught me. So that wasn't so bad. And then in my turn, my Dragon Princes charge the front of the Ragnarok. I make way with my general to get into combat. I charge the Wolf Rider up there on the bolt thrower. I charge it in the rear with my Reavers. And there's a look. I made that charge. And then I declare a charge into the rear of the boys. And that was dangerous. He actually pointed out to me. I told him, I said, I was thinking about charging because, you wouldn't get your rank bonus, but you'd still be steadfast, and that's not good. And then he pointed out, no, my entire unit's in a forest, and you're not steadfast in the woods. So I went ahead and made that charge too. So risky, but I'll try it. There's a look at that. So already, I'm +2 for charging. I've got a rank unless he kills one. I've got a banner in there. And yeah, so I'm up by 5 before the combat starts. So that's looking pretty good. That's just an overall look at the board before we get into the combat. Over here, my Reavers kill the Wolf Rider and save the Bolt Thrower. Over here, my general gets in, does his wounds. The Dragon Princes do a couple more. And then the Silver Helms in the rear put the last 2 on it and kill off the Ragnarok. And at that point, he said he wanted to concede. He said it was taking a long time. It was a long game, and he said he just really needed to go, and it was looking bad. And so that's an overlook of the board. I think I would have gotten his boys. You never know with dice rolling, but I think I would have gotten the boys in the woods. And been able to run them down as well. I have a quick question. Let me go back a picture here. Okay, this picture here is my general's unit and the Silver Helms. One of them charged in the rear, one of them charged in the front. Now, he didn't run, so it's not a pursuing from the unit with the most ranks or models. This is a... it killed him, so it'd be overruns. which way do they overrun, and do they stop when they hit each other, or do they bounce through each other and keep going? We weren't sure. It didn't matter because I had his boys hit in the rear over there. Well, it would have mattered because my Dragon Princess could have overrun and hit them possibly. But we didn't know what it was, and we looked in the book and didn't see it anywhere. So what happens when you kill something and both units overrun into each other? That's my question for the battle report. So that's the end of the game. It was ugly. His chariot is still there, and he still has the 6 trolls. I wanted nothing to do with those trolls. An all-mounted army and no flaming attacks. I wanted nothing to do with those trolls. So that was good. And he still had the horde of boys there because that was undecided. We didn't roll it up. He said he was ready to go. So that's the way it ended. And this list, the all-mounted list, is something I've always wanted to do. And he said, I mean, I asked him. He never complained. He never, it was nothing like that. I asked him after the game was over, was this a frustrating list to play against? And he told me, yeah, it was. Just being honest, he said it was frustrating to play against. So I'll probably be taking more rounded armies, not all cavalry. I played a lot of points denial, but that's how I play my Wood Elves, and that's how I wanted to try this one. And it worked really well, but I like it when my opponents have a good time as well, so I'll probably take something a little better rounded with some infantry and save this for games that count, like tournaments and things like that. So hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe or share with your friends. Help me get the channel going. I'm getting a lot of subscribers, and that's really cool. I didn't know what to expect when I started it, but it's going very well. And appreciate every one of you, and feel free to comment. Let me know if you think this list is cheesy. I think it kind of is, but as far as tournament builds, there's no special characters. I didn't take 2 dragons and 2 phoenixes and all that kind of stuff like some of the other tournament players do. But let me know what you think of it, how you think it would do in a competitive situation, and I appreciate it. And until then, I'll just see it. I'll probably see you Wednesday when I make another one. Thank you.